how it all started. Well, our religion started with Robert Dunder and Robert Mifflin, who were partners that started a paper company.
Who's this worthless bag of bones? Well, this guy is none other than one of the founders of Dunder Mifflin, Mr. Robert Dunder. Huh?
Oh, yeah! Yes!
And then a couple key events that influenced this was Robert Mifflin died tragically in 1972 by a gunshot to the head because he hated himself so much. Robert Dunder went on to expand the company, hired a bunch of people and brought people in. And then last key event was Ed Truck, who was born in 1944 in Detroit, Michigan, became the manager of the company. Michael Scott despised him as a manager, hated him, but then he retired, went away, Michael Scott became the manager, and then Michael figured out that Ed tragically died by decapitation in a car accident. Michael Scott had a change of heart and realized how much he wanted this to influence his ability to become a better manager. And that is how Dunder Mifflin is the way it is now.
Some core teachings here at Dunder Mifflin. Dunder Mifflin supplies are the best. Don't use anything else. Or else. Our environment is a prank-friendly zone. The more Jell-O, the better.
Okay, hold on. Judges in session, what is the problem here?
You put my stuff in Jell-O again!
Ryan is the coolest employee, so we treat him with respect and high fives.
Things were an all-time sad here. But then I got an email from Ryan that he was coming back to town, and I called the temp agency and I told them I will pay you any amount, just give me Ryan Howard. Give him to me. I want him. I need him.
And you got a goatee.
I did.
Did you get that after you helped me move and you saw mine?
Yes. Goatee!
One of our core teachings is that every person gets an individual birthday party and birthday cake. We do not combine them, ever. Never combine a birthday party.
So 13 times a year, Michael gets a cake and balloons and some sort of joke gift and makes a toast. He sings the high harmony to Happy Birthday. And he is a very big believer in surprise parties. Maybe even, arguably, possibly to a fault.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
So there's only a few things that we can't do in our religion. First of all being we do not associate with Toby Flenderson. He is a monster.
Toby is in HR, which technically means he works for corporate, so he's really not a part of our family. Also, he's divorced, so he's really not a part of his family.
Why are you the way that you are? Honestly, every time I try to do something fun or exciting, you make it not that way. I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
Another thing that we can't do is discriminate against one another, except for Toby.
I don't care if you are gay or straight or a lesbian or overweight. Just get in here right now.
So two things we can do here in this religion is you must always have fun. I mean, seriously, why would you take anything too seriously?
Parkour!
The second one is that we must treat everyone as a family. The late, great Emil Durkheim laid a great path for us religious experts on the idea of rituals. The religious beliefs and practices that a religion holds represent the sacred and the opposition, which is the profane. A great example of this is Durkheim stated that feeling himself dominated and carried away by some sort of external power, which makes him think and act differently than normal, has the impression of being himself no longer, which we see in this case of Michael Scott.
Michael and his jeans. He gets in them, and I'm not exactly sure what happens, but I can tell you he loves the way he looks in those jeans. I know that's why he started Casual Fridays.
Amongst the importance of rituals in a religion, we discuss totems. Totemism is very important, and it's kind of, we see how like in a sacrament, not only are the body and the blood sacred, but the chalice becomes sacred, the priest is a sacred human, the church is a sacred place. And so in the case of the office, the Dundee is a totem that is sacred, but not only is that sacred, but the people who receive them for the honor, as well as where they may receive them, for example, like a Chili's.
Finally, I want to thank God because God gave me this Dundee, and I feel God in this Chili's tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, thank you.
Yeah!
We also learn about collective effervescence and how everyone has something to put their beliefs in, which can create a collective unity among religious members. And so when we associate rituals in our mind with importance, like we see how important they are, like going home at the end of a long work day right at 5.
Just seems kind of crazy in a way I might need right now.
I don't know. Oh, that's not yours. Stanley just drank OJ out of my mug and didn't seem to realize that it wasn't his hot coffee. So the question has to be asked, is there no limit to what he won't notice?
Hold up. That clock is slow. It is 5 o'clock. I will see you all tomorrow.
Bye, Stanley. Love you.
So long, Stanley.
Night, everybody.
As I stated previously, one of our core teachings here at Dunder Mifflin is only to use Dunder Mifflin products. However, Bruce, according to Bruce, he says that modernization is occurring, and because of that, we at Dunder Mifflin have started selling printers. However, according to Stark and Finke, secularization is not a valid theory, and because of that, we don't need to modernize, you know, and but we are still selling paper because paper is needed for printers. And so even if secularization is a real and valid thing, it doesn't affect us because people still need paper when using other products that are more modern in today's society.
There has been a lot of talk about new ideas today. Well, new ideas are fine, but they are also illegal because they are a form of ageism. What? Yes, I am right.
So we see an emergence of religious commitment through Andy's reward system. This motivated employees to experience a high level of trust and faith in Andy, and to obtain the reward in the distant future was something that science couldn't explain.
All right, for 5,000 points, I will let you tattoo whatever you want on the stern of the old SS Bernard. Here we go.
All right.
Really?
All right, and you are totally serious.
Swear to God, hope to die. Now let's get to work.
Have you noticed a little bit of a mood shift around here?
No, I haven't noticed anything.
Really? Because I sat next to Stanley for years, and this is nap time. Open eye nap time. He balances the phone on his shoulder and just powers down. Now look at him.
You got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I can send you an email confirmation.
You think it has something to do with that incentive program?
Oh, 100%.
So Dwight is another motivator for employees to enhance religious commitment. Through his speech, he motivates not only members of Dunder Mifflin, but members of all companies. Be strong and to recognize that together we will prevail, as he states.
We must never cede control of the motherland, for it is
And this is an example of how he can motivate and sustain high levels of individual commitment, and that is through confidence that he expresses in the religion, and it's something that will display high levels of commitment through members of this religion that's not expected normally.
As what Stark and Finke have stated about conversion reaffiliation, conversion is a shift across religious tradition, whereas reaffiliation is a shift within religious tradition. It is more common for people to reaffiliate to religion as it is more familiar and has similar traditions and is similar to their previous religion. When there is more social and religious capital within a religion, a person is more willing to stick to that religion. It is like at Dunder Mifflin, we are a family and we treat each other as family, and when there's others who come in, we welcome them as family, and this creates more social capital. And social capital is when there's friends created within that. There's friends and attachments created within that religion. And religious capital is when there is investment in the rituals and duties of that religion. And this in itself increases commitment to that religion. When many come to Dunder Mifflin, they stay and they become a part of our family. And if they leave, they come back because we are a family and there is social capital within this.
Michael Scott he's a genius, an absolute genius when you really think about it. He's the epitome of charisma.
Go! Go! Go!
He leads his religion almost like a company, you know? And the members love it. They love him almost as much as he loves them, and you can really see that in the way that he leads them.
Okay, everybody listen up. If you are not in that conference room in 2 minutes, I am going to kill you.
It's 4:45 and I have started to gather my things.
Get in there right now or I'm gonna lose it!
You can tell he really cares about his members. His charm and personal magnetism, it really brings out the best in people. And he's just so socially inept. And because of his down-to-earth personality, members will do anything that he asks, anything that he says. And they will really do anything to gain his approval. And he really is the glue that holds Dunder Mifflin together.
So, according to Weber, all leadership is based on social charisma. So he said it was really important how the leader had a personal relationship with his followers. So it makes it kind of unstable when one leader leaves or is released or dies, because then the people need to create another personal relationship with the next leader. And so Weber describes 3 different ways that leaders can succeed the last leader. So there's a traditional way, the rational way, and the charismatic way. The traditional characteristic is kind of following family. So if a father was a leader, then the son would follow after him, and then it would just kind of follow that family order. And in a rational way, the leaders follow the rules of the different setting that they're in. For example, a president is voted in, and so that's how the leadership will succeed, is following those rules. So in the office, we see that they try and employ the next person based on their characteristics and if they fit the job, kind of following the rational character. But what really ends up happening is they follow the charismatic character. So when Nellie starts working in the office, she decides that she wants to become a manager because Andy left. Instead of applying for the job, Nellie decides that she's going to bribe all of the workers with pay raises, and that is how she convinces everybody to accept her as the new manager.
So, Phyllis, I have been very impressed with you.
Really?
Oh, yeah. The way you conquered your fear and came in here, and now the way you sit there. All very impressive.
Are you aware that Nellie is giving out raises?
I am not. Huh.
Yeah. She gave one to Dwight, Phyllis.
Let me guess, you want one too? Take the family to Disney Town?
Land, world. It's not that I don't want a, well, yes, I guess I'd take a raise. That's not what I'm saying. That's not, sorry.
Jim, I told Andy to come in, and yet he is still not in. By contrast, Nellie Bertram saw a vacuum and filled it.
And that is how Dunder Mifflin is the way it is now.
Yeah.